Hello, what is up, everybody? So, today I wanted to do a video talking about something that is very important to me. This topic is very important because it is one of the things that I struggled with for a really long time, and I haven't struggled with it as much over the last year or so because I've really outlined the reasons why it was occurring in the past. So, what I'm going to talk about today is how to consistently have good workouts. There are a lot of factors that go into consistently having good workouts. In the past, I wasn't controlling a lot of these variables, and that's why I couldn't tell you if that workout I was going to have that day was going to be good or not. I would walk in the gym and crush it, and then other days I would want to leave because of having such a poor workout or my mind was somewhere else. Staying focused while training was a major struggle for me for a very long time. This wasn't always a problem for me when I was younger. As I got older and started to assume more responsibilities such as rent and paying bills and living on my own and things like that, you start to have a lot of things going on in your head. You have bills to pay, you're thinking about financial security, job security. Those things can be major stressors in your life, and if you don't manage them well, they are always dwelling in your mind. This being the first time that I had dealt with these things in my life, it was very stressful for me, and I would go into the gym still thinking about these things, still having them in my head. The other thing is just managing tasks in general, just having grocery shopping and knowing when your next meal is, especially for bodybuilders, is you have to have food ready most of the time throughout the day. And if you don't, that can be a huge stressor. So basically, what I've done, there's a lot of little things that I've had to do, really creating a sense of urgency about the major things that are important. I was watching a video of John Cena's daily routine. I noticed that he said one thing that really stuck with me and resonated with me is that when something comes up that he can handle immediately, he handles it right there. So say a bill pops up in your phone and it's like, oh, you have to pay, your bills, your phone bill's due today. What I do is I don't hesitate and I pay it right there if it pops up. So I no longer have to worry about that thing, and it's not weighing over my head, and also it's not creating stress if I miss that thing as well. So that's one thing, is taking care of tasks that can be immediately checked off. Another thing is just I like to train either in the morning or the night. That allows me to not have to worry about the things that are going to be done in the chunk of my day. So the morning is beneficial because I don't have to worry too much about what's going on in the day just yet. And the night is beneficial because then I also don't have to worry about the things that I hopefully have gotten done throughout the day. But another thing that I would like to mention is that I tend to keep, like right now, I have a notepad. I tend to keep a notepad. I also have a whiteboard above my desk. And so if I have tasks that I need to do, I'm always offloading them onto the notepad or onto the whiteboard. They can no longer take up space in my mind. I don't have to think about the fact that I might forget them and have to continue thinking about them. I offload them before I go to the gym, and I offload them before I go to bed as well. So my mind is clear basically, and those tasks are there for when I'm ready for them instead of dwelling in my head. That alone has taken a lot of stress off of myself and allowed me to focus when the time to go work out and train and be serious comes along. That's basically a lot of the stuff around focus. One other thing I'd like to mention is that motivation. Watching motivational content, listening to motivational books. So I'll sit in my car and watch like bodybuilding motivational videos before I go into the gym, or on the treadmill at the gym as I warm up. Another thing I've liked to do more as of recent years is just listen to people who have gone through struggles, because it does motivate me a lot, and also gives me some sense of gratitude as well, which I think is really important to, especially when you're going into a training session. So another thing I'd like to touch on is having a set schedule. So like I mentioned, having specific times that you train, times that you know there will be no other obligations, having certain days that are planned in for rest as well. So basically, if you're training for too many consecutive days, you will start to accumulate mental fatigue. And I know this is different for everybody, and there is a camp of people who believe you can just train through everything. But I am in the camp of people who believes that you do exhaust your ability to train, or your ability to at least enjoy training. For myself, I go like 3 or 4 days, and I start to think of the act of going into the gym and lifting weights. It starts to become almost dreadful for me. So I need to have scheduled days off so that when I do go back to the gym, I actually enjoy the process of doing it. because I ultimately started lifting and bodybuilding because I love going to the gym and exercising. Basically, having those days set into your schedule, you can plan for other activities that don't involve lifting, and plan for mental rest as well as physical rest. The physical rest also plays into allowing yourself to not become too physically exhausted and fatigued from the training as well. So another aspect that I feel is very important is going to be sleep and recovery. If you are not getting enough sleep, from my personal experience, your desire to go to the gym is pretty low. When you're really physically tired, all I want to do is sleep. I don't want to go to the gym. I don't want to go out. I don't want to go to work. As I started prioritizing sleep and wearing my CPAP, making sure my quality of sleep is a lot better, making sure my room is dark and trying to stay off electronics, having most phones now have a mode that turns that changes the blue light in the screen when it gets closer to nighttime. Having that on, just improving your overall sleep quality will improve not only your desire to go to the gym, but it will actually improve your performance in the gym as well. I believe your risk of injury goes up greatly when your sleep is impaired. Your metabolism slows down, and I believe your joints aren't able to repair as well. And I've had a lot of joint pain when I was sleeping only 4 to 5 hours a night. One of the most important things for having good workouts long term is goal setting. I feel like this gets overlooked a lot, and a lot of people just throw this term around. What I believe is that you need to have a micro and a macro goal. The time frame for a micro goal can be a couple days or a couple weeks. I want to gain 1 pound per week if I'm trying to gain weight, or lose 1 pound per week if I'm trying to lose weight. I want to lift these weights when I go into the gym, and that can be very motivating because you always have something to work towards. And then the macro would be, in my case, it's having a show that I'm going to compete in. And for other people, it may be that they have a wedding to go to, or some sort of event that they want to look good for. It's something that if you stay conscious of in the times that it's becoming hard, those times will come where it's really difficult to execute your plan because you are tired and your emotions get in the way. If you can remember that macro goal or even your micro goal, and you stay conscious of it, or you have it written somewhere, or you have a picture of the venue you're going to have your wedding at, or in my case, I have a countdown timer on my phone that I look at every day, and I have how many days written out on my whiteboard that I am from the show. I'm conscious and aware of it, so when it does get tough, I know that I have this thing that I'm working toward, and I can visualize it. It can make the task of exercising and training much less like a chore, and it really helps you connect with your why, and why are you there, and that's what you need to remember in those really, really tough times. One other thing I'd like to mention that a lot of people tend to brush off: appropriate clothing, and I guess hygiene as well. So why I feel this is important is that if you have something like, for me, I grow out of my clothes a lot because I am constantly changing and manipulating my body composition and my weight. So say I've gained a lot of weight and I put on some clothes that used to fit me, and I don't look at myself before I leave to the gym, and I go to the gym and I look at myself in the mirror and I feel like uncomfortable with my outfit. I know this sounds silly, but it is true, and it does play into your performance, in my opinion. If I'm either uncomfortable in the clothes, physically uncomfortable, or actually mentally uncomfortable, like I look weird, like my clothes are too small or too large or something like that, it will affect my mind and it will take my focus away from my training session. I know ultimately, to be able to be good, especially as a bodybuilder, or to make progress, you need to be able to tune out distractions, and sometimes maybe having some of these distractions and learning how to avoid them is a good thing. But I'm saying that you can manage these variables, so why not? And I would say also too, having a nice haircut for men and women, a nice hairstyle, something that you're comfortable with and confident. Every time I go and get a haircut, my workout after that is amazing. And I just feel good. I feel confident. Having showered and brushed my teeth, all that stuff, it just plays in. I also do, and this is kind of weird, but I spray on a little bit of cologne before I go to the gym because I hate smelling like BO or just kind of gross. I understand that just comes along with the territory, but it is a variable that you can manage that can allow you to be more comfortable in an environment that is generally uncomfortable for a lot of people. And I think that ultimately plays into your ability to have good training sessions and to progress. If you're wearing some shorts that that don't fit you, and you go to do an exercise and you feel it pulling up on your leg, and and that one rep is a make or break set, and you get distracted by this one little thing, it's going to hinder your progress, and ultimately it's going to start to take away from your training session. So that's why I feel like physical appearance and hygiene and finding the proper clothes that you're confident in is so important for having good training sessions. Ultimately, what plays into consistently having good training sessions, I believe, is having a plan. A lot of these things that I've mentioned are going to take planning. They are going to take conscious effort. There are a lot of variables to manage. And so if you don't have a proper plan in place, then all of these things fall through. My problem was I wasn't managing a majority of these variables, and I was letting them all fall to chance. And I believe that really hurts your confidence when you can't execute things correctly. And it hurt my confidence to not have consistently good workouts. So it's kind of seemed to tumble on itself. Having a plan, having something written out, like I mentioned, will build a lot of confidence in yourself. And that will also build into having good training sessions. When you are confident in yourself and your ability to do the tasks at hand, it's going to really not only improve your training sessions, but it's going to improve your quality of life. Whatever it may be, whatever other things you need to manage, along with the sleep and the recovery and the nutrition, it's going to ultimately play into your quality of life. I guess ultimately, we're not only just talking about having good training sessions, but we're talking about improving the overall quality of your day by managing certain variables that can affect your training. So basically, I just wanted to share that information with you guys. This for me was a really hard thing that took a lot of years to understand. I would always ask my friends why am I not having good workouts? And I think some people can just go in the gym and just train, wear whatever, do whatever. If their house is on fire and they have overdraft on their credit cards, and a funeral to go to in an hour, and they got work an hour after that, and they can just be fine and train through it. But me personally, I have to manage all my other stressors because I am such an anxious person, and because I have a lot going on in my head. So these are some of the things that have helped me to have good training sessions, and I hope that you can take something away, and some of these things can help you as well. Again, thank you for watching my videos. I really appreciate it. The responses I've got are amazing. If you're interested in seeing more, I will be posting weekly on this channel. Please click the subscribe button. And like I've said in the past, I'm more than welcome to help any of you guys. If you want to reach out via email, have any questions or video suggestions, I would love to hear it. Anyway, thanks again. It's Dylan Guynn signing out.